My name is David Solomon, and I'm the CEO of Closeouts World. We're going to be doing a series of videos that talks about different ways of looking at the closeout market. In 2019, there have been over 1,000 different closeout companies in the United States and around the world. All of them have basically one premise: to buy merchandise at the lowest cost and to sell it so their customers can make a good profit margin on it. In today's video, video number 1, we're going to be talking about what closeouts really are. So, what are closeouts? Well, basically closeouts are merchandise that the department stores or a manufacturer, a retailer, even a liquidator has left over, and they're trying to get rid of it at below their original cost. What that basically means is if I buy something, for example, a pair of sneakers, and I buy it as a wholesaler at $20, I'm trying to sell it at $25. Now, if I have leftovers, then obviously I'm going to try to sell it at less than the original selling price. So instead of selling it for $25, I may sell it at my cost, but preferably I'm going to sell it probably at $15, $16 until I can actually liquidate the merchandise. What that does is it gives a bigger profit margin to my customer, and it allows the customer to buy volume in the closeout market. So where do all these closeouts come from? Well, we have obviously the department stores such as Macy's, Walmart, Kmart, Target, Kohl's, you name it. Around the world, we've got over 100 different department stores that closeouts are available not only on an annual or weekly basis, but literally on a daily basis. They're divided into categories, and in a future video, we're going to be discussing what those categories are. Today, we're going to look at the conditions of merchandise that are available on the market. Now, what this video is meant to do is to give you some information on what you're going to be looking at when you buy closeouts. So, for example, if you're doing Amazon, you're definitely going to want to purchase something that you can sell that's brand new, or overstock, or a shelf pull. If you're dealing in eBay is something that you can do used merchandise, you can do returns, you can do refurbished. It has a different platform, and it allows the customer to actually buy in different types of categories and different conditions. If you are a retailer, if you are a wholesaler, you have the full gambit available to you, and you can really buy anything that you want and any condition that you want. So let's take a look at the different types of categories that we have. If you look at these sneakers over here, these are actually going to be considered overstock and shelf pulls. Now, what is overstock and shelf pulls? Overstock is merchandise that was in the store, or it was in a manufacturer, it was in another wholesaler, a liquidator, and they did not sell the merchandise, but it's still in new condition. Now, I say new condition because new condition does not necessarily mean brand new. Brand new is something that comes directly from the manufacturer. It's still in its original cases, it's still with the tissue paper, it's still with the original box. Everything is brand new, the same way that it was manufactured originally. These over here are in new condition. They're all in their boxes, but they may not come exactly 12 size 6 or the same size run that they originally came from when they came from the manufacturer. So they may this brand right here, RXN, with one size 6, one size 9, one size 11. It may have some grays, some blacks in the box. The same thing with your US Polo, the same thing with your Reeboks, your K-Swiss, your Osiris, your Nikes. Everything is going to be in new condition. This is something that you can pretty much put on Amazon or in your store, and it's retail ready. So this is what we consider overstock and shelf pulls. Now, what is a shelf pull? Shelf pull is merchandise that may have a sticker on it. So if we look, for example, at our cosmetics right here. These cosmetics are brand new, okay? And this right here is a Maybelline lipstick. As you can see, it is something that was originally in the store. It has the sticker price. We can't call this brand new. We can't even call it overstock. We can call it shelf pulls, because this is something that was on the shelf at some point in one of the retail stores. Could be Walgreens, Rite Aid, Walmart, and they took it off. Why did they take it out? And this is where the word and terminology closeouts really comes to play. why is this specific item not available in the store anymore, and why has it been taken off the shelf? A few different reasons. One, maybe the store ordered too much and they just don't have the capacity to sell whatever they ordered. Number two, it could be they only have one piece left from this color and they've got the new model coming in and they just don't have this space to store this color and the new color. And there's a few obviously other reasons which fall into the array of that. And we have to basically think of the shelf pulls as something that is in new condition, but it's not something that we can say is brand new. So these are our shelf pulls and our overstock. Now let's look at brand new items. As you can see, this right here is something that's brand new. Now why is it brand new? Because it's still in its original plastic, it's in its original packaging from the manufacturer. It is something that we can say this is exactly how it came originally. So this is something that's brand new. Now, is there going to be a difference in prices between brand new, overstock, and shelf pulls? Sometimes. Sometimes you're going to pay a little bit more for something that's brand new because it's in its original cases. Sometimes you're going to pay less for shelf pulls because it has the chance of the case or the packaging or something not being 100% brand new. There may be a little scratch, there may be a little smudge on it, so you can tell that it's not brand new. Pricing definitely works to your advantage when you're working with shelf pulls versus brand new. So now that we know about brand new, we know about overstock, and we know about shelf pulls, let's look at the next condition. The next condition is called refurbished. Refurbished merchandise is actually something that wasn't new anymore. It could have been something that was returned to the store. It could have been something that was defective. It could be something that didn't have a box. It could be something from 100 different conditions. And what they do is they will send it to a professional company which will do refurbishing. Now, what is refurbishing? Refurbishing is basically taking a product that is not new and making it as new as possible so it can be sold in a retail environment. So what do? Well, obviously you can see the box is not the original box. You can tell that it says factory refurbished product. It comes with a warranty. So these are things that will be sold very close to the condition of new, but will let the consumer know when they buy it, this is not new. So if we look inside, if we were to actually open the product, we would see there's packaging, there's wrapping, there's a manual. Everything is there exactly like if you went and you bought a brand new item, but it's refurbished. Now, what does that mean in terms of pricing? It's going to be cheaper. So instead of paying, $100 for an item like this in the store, now it may be $80 or $70. Now, what does that mean to you, the person that's actually buying the closeout? It means that you have the opportunity to buy it for less than the original wholesale, and you can still sell it at very close to the retail, within about 10, 15, even 20 points. So this is refurbished. So once again, let's summarize. We've looked at brand new, we've looked at overstock, we've looked at refurbished, and we've looked at shelf pulls. Now, we're going to look in the warehouse and we're going to look at returns, and we're going to go all the way down to look actually at used and as-is merchandise. We're going to look at a few of the conditions we spoke about. First one I want to show you is shelf pulls. As you can see, shelf pulls or any merchandise can come in what's called big boxes, they can come in Gaylord boxes, or merchandise can basically come in regular boxes, as you can see. So let's take a look at the shelf pulls. When we look at shelf pulls of merchandise that comes on the pallets, as you can see, it's one of this, one of this, one of this, all kinds of different items. But as you can see from the boxes, everything is in new condition. But this is not how the cases come originally from the manufacturer. So we can't call this brand new merchandise. We can't call it like new because it is in like new condition. Now, this is going to be the way that merchandise usually comes in when you're ordering shelf pulls or overstock merchandise. So I promise you that we're going to look at returns also. So this is a palette right here of returns. Now, Returns, as you can see, they come sometimes with boxes, sometimes they come without boxes, and you really have to think about when you're going to a store to return something, how are you returning it? Are you returning merchandise always in the same condition? No, okay? So we can look at this pair of boots right here. Someone bought this pair of boots and for whatever reason they decided they were going to return it. Now, is it in new condition? No, it's not. Can it be cleaned? Can it be sold? Yes, of course. These are Crocs. They have a good high value. Unfortunately, you cannot send this to Amazon and you cannot put this in your store to sell immediately. You have to spend some time and a little bit of labor taking care of this in order to make sure you can sell it. Now, obviously we've got some nice Skechers over here, but the Skechers are not in good condition. These are merchandise that were returned. Okay, now, is every single piece and is every single pair of shoes going to be like this in this palette? No. Do we have a percentage? No. Customers always ask us, what is the percentage in the returns of good stuff versus stuff that will be possibly unsalvageable? We don't know. And we always say between 0 and 100%. Palettes can be a mix and a variety of many different conditions. We like to call it the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's move on from the returns and the shelf pulls to another return. These, as you can see, are JCPenney returns. On these returns, nothing here is in its original packaging. This is how it was returned to the store. So someone bought this. This could be in brand new condition. They just don't have the packaging. They returned it to the store. How is this going to be sold in your environment? How are you going to market this? How are you going to sell this? Very easily. There's 100 different ways, and we can discuss this. So when you speak to a salesperson when you're buying something, you can always ask for advice, and they'll be able to help you out on how to market this to your own customer. Let's take a look at this. Now, this is a different situation. This is actually what we call shelf pulls mixed with returns. These are JCPenney kids clothing. So the JCPenney kids clothing is actually merchandise, as you can see. It's brand new. Okay? It looks great. Now, is it brand new? No, it's not. This is something that was on the shelf. It clearanced out at $15. So is this something that can be sold in a retail environment? Yes. Can you put this on Amazon? Of course. But you're not going to get sizes. You don't have the sizes of the exact same item, so it's not going to be brand new. Now, are we going to find things in here that may have a hole? Yes. I have no idea what this rubber band is for. Could it be just to have two pieces together, or could it be to signify that there's some kind of damage? I have no idea. But there's going to be a good mix. Finally, we're going to talk about used merchandise. Used merchandise is a behemoth of an animal in itself. You have to have the right customer for this. This is not for everybody. This is something that can go very well in thrift stores, export to different third world countries, and even be put on eBay. But you have to know what you're doing. If you have questions, you can talk to us, or you can really talk to anybody that you're buying closeouts from in general. They'll be able to give you the advice that you need in order to buy and to sell this kind of merchandise. So let's take a look at what kind of merchandise we have here. Well, the first merchandise that we look at is used clothing, okay? Now, the clothing itself, in a different video, we're going to be talking about grading. It is classified as either grade A++, grade A, B, C. There's merchandise that is called credential, and there's industrial category. So there's a lot of different categories. This will take about 15 minutes within itself, and like I said, we will be discussing this in a future video. So used clothing, when they come in either what's called a 1,000-pound bale like this, or in 100-pound bales. And the bales basically have different types of clothing. So here we have a mixture of clothing. This is actually a mixture of winter and summer clothing, men, women, and kids. And once again, you can recategorize it to have either just adults, just kids, etc. Let's go over here. Over here you can see we actually have a palette of just jeans. The jeans palettes are going to be a mixture. Again, different grades, different brands, different qualities, different conditions. Okay? But everything here is used. Some of it is in perfect condition. Some of it will look like it's actually brand new. Some of it will even have its original tags on. Why is it classified as used? Because it's merchandise that's been sitting in someone's closet for who knows how long, and they've either donated it or they've just passed it along. Finally, let's take a look at this. Books. Great item for Amazon, Great item for eBay, great item if you have a retail store. A lot of these books are in condition that are either new or close to new. But we sell them as used. Why? Because that's the condition that they are in. So you've got really good categories here, great genres. You've got hardcover, softcover, and in a future video we'll be talking just about the books and how to sell those. So as you can see, the used category, okay, and we only have a few different types of items here, the clothing, the jeans, and the books. They're actually divided into many more. But you have to be able to know who your customer is before you jump into that kind of condition. So I hope that this video has shown you a little bit about the conditions of closeout merchandise and you have a little bit of an explanation. Like I said, in future videos we will be getting into more details and more specifics on what exactly the closeouts industry is about and what is sold, how to get to your customers, how to get to your vendors, what kind of merchandise is the best that you want to sell. Right now, the one thing that is the most important that you realize is there are many different types of closeouts. And in order to get your niche, you need to start understanding not only the industry, but the merchandise itself. Thank you so much.